Well, here's the thing. Everything in Univah works offline. So we've been exposing a lot of copycats, a lot of Univah wannabes. So far, we have exposed Realusion. Okay, so we exposed Realusion for doing what? Trying to copy Univah art, copying my photography using AI. And we exposed Realusion for that. Who else did we expose? Before we exposed Realusion, we exposed Polyhaven. And guess what Polyhaven is guilty of? The exact same thing. Wow, look at that. They watch Univers videos and they try to copy. And guess what they tried to copy? They tried to copy the exact same stuff that Realusion saw and tried to copy our SIGGRAPH videos. Yes, ma'am. Everybody saw our SIGGRAPH videos and decided, hey, let's try to copy this and not give Univers any credit. That's how ethical and wonderful Polyhaven is. So you have Realusion and their delusion. You have Polyhaven. And then you have Hao Fei. Hao Fei. Okay. And Realusion is a multi-million-dollar company. Polyhaven is whatever they are. Hao Fei is a computer science teacher in Oxford with a PhD. He has a PhD in how to be stupid, a PhD in not giving credit, a PhD in trying to take the glory for himself for work he did not do. So let's be very clear. If you want to know if Univers is AI or not, in case you think we're kidding or lying, here's how this works. Every single AI, okay, all AI generative apps work the same way, guys. They all rely on massive servers, okay? They rely on servers who generate stuff for you. And these servers cost a lot of money, very expensive. Now, this is the reason why Realusion has to charge you for tokens, okay? They have to charge you. You have to pay tokens every time you use iClone AI. That's why, okay? If you're using generative AI, you have to be connected to the internet. All generative AI relies on the internet connection because you must be connected to the servers. Okay? You must be connected to these servers because this is what's doing all the work for you. Okay? These servers are doing all the work. They are so bad for the environment, but who cares? Who cares about the environment? Why should you care about data centers that are bad for the environment? Please continue to not care about your health. So that's what AI does. AI uses servers. And if you disconnect from the internet and you try to use ChatGPT, it will not work. Okay? It will not work if you try to use ChatGPT without the internet. You try to use Nano Banana, you try to use iClone, you try to use any AI without the internet, it will not work. Now, here's the thing about Univah, guys. Univah is 100% cloud independent. Do you know what that means? Univah is 100% AI independent. So this means we don't need you. If you want to change your rendering style, you don't need to be connected to a server in Belgium. No, ma'am. You don't need to be connected to servers all the way in Belgium just to change your render style in Univah. You don't need to buy uh, a, a super expensive A1000, 10,000 GPU just to keep your AI generative thing from flickering and having lags. You don't have to buy a $10,000 PC just to use Univah, okay? Because Univah is not AI. It doesn't depend on AI. So you can make as many videos as you want in 1080p, 2K, 4K, 6K without paying any extra money because we don't have to connect to a server to do this or send messages to a server to do that. We don't have to connect to servers every time you need a 2K or 8K or 4K video made. We don't need you to have the internet on. No internet. It's fine. Okay? So if you don't have a clue, if you have no clue what is the difference between an AI software and a software that does not use AI, all you have to do is do this: turn off the internet. Just try that. Turn off the internet. Okay? Turn off the internet and then try to generate a video using AI. And let's see how, without the internet, it's going to connect to the servers. Oh, wow. Let's see how it's going to do that, sweetie, without the internet on. So, you are always going to have some sort of connectivity to the internet. Womp womp. But here's how Univah works, friends. This is what Univah is always going to be faster and better than AI. No matter how many of you get demon possessed and you try to take the glory away from Univah, you always fall short because your little AI apps is just Nano Banana. You're just copying Nano Banana. It's just an AI wrapper that doesn't really do anything special. There's so many of you coming out. You have no moat. You have no moat, and nothing you do is novel. You have zero novelty. Zero novelty. Okay? Our users, when they use Univah, you know what happens? Here's what happens, friends. When you download Univah, Film Engine, you know what happens to you? You know what happens to your life? The only time you need the internet is when you enter your license key. That's all. Enter your key. Okay? When you're launching the software, that's the only time you need the internet because we have to verify your key to prevent abuse. But once the software is launched, do me a favor and do a quick little test. Turn off the internet. Just turn it off. Once you have launched Univah, turn off the internet and then go to render and try to render a 6K image and it will work. Go to Univah and try to render a 4K image. It's going to work because we don't have to connect to any AI servers because your internet is turned off. If it's working when your internet is turned off, that means we are truly cloud independent. That's what that means. It's easy to test that, guys. So if you have any doubts, just turn off the internet. Go to the desert, go off the grid with just your laptop and Univah installed, Univah Film Engine, okay? Turn off the internet, and once you have Univah open, create a beautiful scene, and then render out an image. Use the instant video export to render out an animation instantly. And you'll see Univah can do all these wonderful things without the internet being turned on all the time. That is something none of your little AI apps will ever be able to do, okay? You're going to have to pay for tokens for the rest of your life. You're going to have to pay for tokens and buy computers that are so expensive. Your future, I feel sorry for you if you're relying on AI, because the future is not bright for people that are relying on AI in terms of creative work. The future is not bright for you if you have the delusion that you're going to replace Hollywood. If you're one of those delusional people who never made it in life, and because you never made it in life, you're rooting for everybody who's above you to fail. You hope Hollywood will fail. Well, unfortunately for you, whether Hollywood fails or not, it's not going to be because of generative AI. Okay? So, if you're one of those salty people who has like a lot of anger in your heart, if you're one of those angry Asians who's just praying that Hollywood fails and your AI app is the one app that is left standing, well, unfortunately for you, that won't happen. Okay? So good luck. I'm very excited about the future of the Univah Film Engine. And honestly, in a weird way, this is really validating because despite how much some of you have tried to make it seem like Univah was not influencing the industry, every time I see some loser from Oxford who has a PhD, okay, every single time I see some PhD loser who has no life from Oxford or from Harvard or from Yale or from Brown or from whatever dumbass university, okay, every single time I see one of you watching our videos and trying to copy our stuff and then trying to take the glory that belongs to me and Jesus and trying to apply it to yourself, I say, there we go. There we go. Somehow we are reaching all of you. All of you have been reached, you've been touched, and you have been impressed by our work. But you're so fucking retarded and dumb, you don't want to give us the credit, you want to try to take it for yourself. And that is the dumbest thing that you could possibly do, because how long did you think you were going to get away with this? How long did you think you were going to get away with this? And how far did it take your career? Now you're probably going to lose your little job at Oxford. You're working in a computer science department at Oxford and you're copying the Univah Film Engine. Now you're probably going to lose your stupid ass job. And then what are you going to do? Work at McDonald's? Who's going to hire you? You're a fraud. So stupid. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't risk your reputation. Don't be dumb. Don't be dumb.